Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWAH, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to my Akim, Wagwathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. Job chapter, this is Brother Kyle coming at you with another lesson. Job chapter 13, verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. So, today's lesson, we're going to be going into how the society is nothing but lies. All right. One thing that I have heard quite oftenly, all right, is people saying, "You need to live your truth. You need to say, I need to say my truth." Okay, quote unquote, my, and then truth. All right. And the thing is, actually, I just thought of another precept. All right, the thing about that is, notice how they say my truth. All right. So even if it is a lie, it is the truth that they choose to believe. All right. And this is a big thing. This is a big problem that is also with what's it called? What's that thing called? Like serious accusations and cases, okay? Because there was I've heard many different, instances where Slaki, if this is pausing because of that. I've heard different instances where when there have been, people accused of something, okay, they're saying the victim needs to say her truth, and then later on down the line it turns out she just lied and said all this crap, or it wasn't even like that. It was just something that she exaggerated and made to seem extremely worse. And the funny thing is, there were men that were making jokes, but at the same time, how there's some truth to a joke, but there were men that were making jokes saying, "Oh, the next time I have sex with a woman, I'm gonna make her sign a legal binding contract, that says that we are allowed to have sex. Or if she doesn't do that, then I'm not gonna lie with her." All right, and that's the thing that made, that kind of scared men in general. All right, so that this whole my truth thing, it also goes in and ties into Babylon making people believe however they want, whatever they want, and it is up to each individual person's discretion to live and to pick and choose how they want to live. And there is no, I guess, real overseer. There's no real standard that anyone needs to be held on, okay? And in all honesty, it's getting worse and worse to the point where, because as I've said before, okay, they started out with homo, okay, same stuff. Then they went on to transformers, okay, then they went on to all these other genders. Is a spectrum or some shit, whatever, I don't remember. And then now they're gonna go more. I think, hold on, can you? Wow. Okay. I guess I genuinely didn't know. I heard it before. I heard someone say it. I don't remember who, but lo and behold, I guess you can. In America, you can marry an animal. All right. So, I mean, over here, but this is a person saying, but yeah, okay, well, Slovakia, I just want to point out, all right, this is an individual stating this, okay? And this is the mindset that I don't want to get into it too much into it, but basically this is the mindset of how they're trying to quote unquote draw the line that it stops at transformations out in the alphabet stuff, the current alphabet stuff, and not the other stuff that is eventually going to be added, like the kids and the animal, which is animals. I'm pretty sure it's legal. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but people in the U.S. and building objects and even themselves. Okay, well, it's not. I guess it's not. It's not under the law that says you cannot marry an animal. There's no law that says you can't marry an animal. So technically you can, but I don't know the details on that. Anyway, that's not the point. Slucky about that. As I was saying before, okay, before I got sidetracked, slucky about that. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, the whole how Babylon is, all about lies. All right. Now, I want to get a couple of these videos, all right, that I had saved, okay, and again it goes into the lies that tries to push out, okay. So initially we have Esau lying to people and telling people, oh yeah, live however you want, you can do whatever you want, this, that, and the third. Okay, now we have the lies of people, or not the lies, but the people. Happens to people that speak truth, okay, and speak against and try to dispel the illusion, the delusion. Okay, let me get this verse then. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 11. And for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. Okay, so when people try to tell the truth, all right, and try to dispel the lie, the illusion, the delusion that Babylonians are under, okay, when people try to, wake people up to reality, as a result, those people that are telling the truth are demonized. All right. Let me also get this before I get the videos. Galatians chapter 4 verse 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Okay, so we are seen as villains or evil when we are speaking the truth or when we give our side to things. This is also seen, okay, with like I want to say whenever America has beef with anyone, okay, like for example, all right, I don't remember how many years ago, but let me just check it. Fidel, okay, when he was alive, okay, before 2016, all right, I heard a lot of people talking a whole lot of shit about him, saying a whole bunch of terrible things. Oh, he's a bad person, this and the third. But back then, when I was before 2016, when I actually went and said, okay, why the fuck are these people? Because I was watching George Lopez a lot, so I was like, okay, why is this guy saying Fidel Castro's a terrible person, this and the third? So then I went in and did a bunch of research, and for the most part it was just because from what I saw, I don't remember all of it, but from what I remember, Slovakia is, number one, he didn't want any interaction with America, okay, so he basically like hard banned, like, you guys, no one's allowed to go mess with America. That's number one. Number two, well, this is not necessarily a reason why they hated him, but this is actually more so of something that he did really good for Cuba, which they're not doing in America, which is actually makes Babylon or Slovakia, America look bad. And what he did was he made sure that the Cuban people had good education. They were able to be successful in their country have all these have be able to get a good career in there. All right, like it was. I don't necessarily remember everything. Slovakia get I couldn't get all the stuff, but the point is the fact that it was a big thing that people were talking down, saying a bunch of terrible things about him, when from what I've seen, he didn't seem to be too much of a bad guy. He just said, he was just, kind of, he was, from what I understood, he was trying to look out for the nation of his people in a bit, maybe a bit of a forceful way. But again, it was potentially, I want to say, out of love, definitely out of concern and wanting for his people. But his people, I guess, some of them had an issue with it. But again, like I'm not gonna say that I know everything about it, and I will admit that potentially some of the information that I learned is kind of biased in the sense that because of America's track record, I'm pretty sure America is painting him out to be worse than he actually is. Maybe there was some things that he did wrong, and are inexcusable, but ultimately I do believe that he was trying to do something for the betterment of his people. Or outside of that, I can't really fully say. But that is an example of people being under a strong delusion, because again, it also applies into the whole Israel-Hamas conflict, where a lot of people, not necessarily right now, because now there's a lot more information going on, being spread around, and more people are actually learning, or not necessarily learning, but being exposed to some information. But overall, people are kind of dick riding and saying, oh yeah, Israel shouldn't have been attacked, this, that, and the third, blah blah blah. We need to help Israel, this, that, and the third, help Ukraine, this, that, and the third, blah blah blah. Okay, and in actuality, like what led up to these conflicts in the first place? Why are they fighting like that? Okay, which usually Esau's reason for why if you ask Esau, most of the times, usually his reason is because, they're just savages, they just want to attack people, they just want to fight, this, that, and the third. Okay, just like they say that for Jacob. All right, so in that same sense, in that same sense, this is how they put that strong delusion. And because people are uneducated and they don't do their own research, due diligence, or whatever, to take the time to learn and verify, is what we're learning about true? Okay, then people are on their truths on what they know. All right, but again, as I said before, I'm not super knowledgeable on Fidel Castro. I only know what little I researched, like 10 years ago. So yeah. Moving on, let's get this video. Okay, finally.
He got arrested because he was printing in magazines that he cures AIDS and sickle cell and cancer. And they like, that's false advertisement, that's malpractice of medicine, all type of thing. He wasn't no doctor. He just used herbs and his understanding of herbs. And he went to trial in New York. And he proved in the state of New York on record that he said, bring me y'all AIDS patients from y'all doctor. He treated them while he was on trial. He said, now have y'all doctors test them. The same ones diagnosing with AIDS, had them test them. 77 patients on record in 1985 by his herb.
All right. So Slocky, if there's any lag, because I guess I have multiple videos out. But yeah, this did not make the news. You have to actually dig deep to learn stuff like this. Okay, they don't want to push out stuff like this. And again, it's that whole my truth thing. Okay, that's just what I call it. Okay, because I know that my truth is a lie if it's not the truth. What is the truth? And the truth is that, cancer, AIDS, all that stuff, they are curable. And Dr. Sebi apparently cured them, but as well as the fact that he's done a third, saying all these excuses and stuff that's just not true, and when in actuality, you know what happened. All right, as is the common theme, which leads me to this. Okay, I pray it doesn't slow down. Bear with me. Okay, well, whatever. I guess for now we can just read this comment. Basically, this is Michael Jackson. All right, how he was talking about how Sony and the I guess the owner of Sony, whatever, CEO, whoever, at the time.
Companies really, really do conspire against their artists. They steal, they cheat, they do whatever they can, especially the black artists. Sony, Tommy Mottola. Tommy Mottola is the president of the record division. He is a mean, he's a racist, and he's very, very, very devilish.
I've generated several $1 billion for Sony, several billion. And they really thought that my mind is always on music and dancing, and it usually is, but they never thought that this performer, myself, would outthink them. Now I'm a free agent. I just owe Sony one more album. It's just a box set, really. It's with 2 new songs, which I've written ages ago. So I'm leaving Sony a free agent of owning half of Sony. I own half of Sony's publishing, and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it. But I just did good business, the way they get revenge is to try and destroy my album. And Tommy Mottola is a devil. Apocalyptic.
So, yeah, I don't believe that. But anyway, I don't believe the bottom part. Anyway, the main thing is the fact that, this is the stuff that happens to our people when we even try to make it in this world. Okay, when we speak facts, no one wants to talk about the truth. They only want to talk about the lies or things that just aren't relevant. Like he died in 2009, and I am only learning of Michael Jackson talking badly about Sony, Tony Mottola in this year. I only learned about this year. I never have heard this before in my life, and that is the crazy thing, that no one, the Babylonians, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to. Oh, hey, Slakia, let me rephrase that. Number one, the leaders, they don't let this stuff reach the light. That's number one. And so as a result, they watch what hits the air. All right, so they watch what hits the news and stuff like that. That's number one. Number two, all right, the Babylonians, they just don't care enough to actually, learn about this stuff and be aware and, kind of steel themselves to understand, comprehend, and be aware of the lies that that's going on. All right, the lies, the trickery. All right, Michael Jackson bothered to go out and say this, and like what the people in the crowd, they don't even care. Like they're just cheering. Which brings me to this one, Slakia.
Not your game. You didn't make the rules, so everything comes hard. As long as you're signed to a contract, you're going to take a minority share of the winning. A select few of us will do well. The majority will not. So as a people, we'll be considered a minority. But stop. Let's take a moment and look at yourselves. There's nothing minor about you. You are a blessed people. You're the most talented on earth, and you are still grateful. That is why upon winning in their game, you always thank God. Tonight I would like to ask one favor of you. Imagine what we'll all be like in our own game. Peace, love for one another. Well,
All right, so again, like it really does tie in together. Number one, I want to state that. Okay, let's see. Prince, he is dead. Michael Jackson, everyone knows he's dead. Nipsey Hussle, dead. Dr. Sabi, dead. Oh my God, 2016? 3 of them died in 2000. Okay, no, 2 of them died in 2016. Hey, what can I say? Anyway, the point is that Esau does not like when Jake has power and Jake is willing, to say something against the lie that Esau has, put upon the world at like a veil or whatever, okay, to deceive and manipulate the masses. All right, you got these 2/3. All right, the 2/3 that, again, as I've said before, like even when he was giving his speech, like, who is screaming, shut up and listen? All right, you got in. They were showing some people that, they were actually listening, taking things to heart, and it is a true thing. Okay, a lot of what he was saying is true. Okay, I don't think there was barely anything that I can really dispute or refute. All right, except I guess thinking God, which we think the name of the Most High is YAHAWAH. All right, so not necessarily thank God, but that's kind of nitpicky. Outside of that, in this situation, it's kind of nitpicky. But outside of that, like everything they said is facts. Like you can only hope that you have some money, but at the same time, the reality of it is that we really should not aim to win at their game. All right, because we don't want to be rich on this side. We don't want to have a lot on this side and then forget the Lord. All right, let's get that. All right. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 8. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny thee, and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my power in vain. Okay, so if you're full, you're going to deny me. You say, oh, I got the power. I'm him. I'm this and the third and whatnot. All right, you don't want to be full. You don't want to have a surplus. You want to have enough. And again, like he was saying, you don't want to win at their game. It's not our game, and that's true. It is not our game. Honestly, there's nothing. I really can't. He said it right. It's just up to us to. I just hope that you can understand, which I should definitely, break it down. What he's saying is like, number one, it's not our game, meaning it's not our world. All right. This world was set up so that Esau could thrive and, be rich. This is Esau's heaven. It's not our heaven. So again, it is substantially harder for us to make it. Okay, if you're an Israelite, it's going to be substantially harder for us to succeed and to win the game. Just like how you're playing a video game. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if this is a proper analogy, but it's like you're picking hard mode by being a Jake. Okay, so it's going to be a lot, or not even hard mode, but like super hard mode by being a Jake. Okay, where it's not just things are harder, but there are going to be people, or not just people, but things that are set up to knock you back down, where the rules can either change because there are too many of us doing well, or the rules just kick you back down because you are again, just because you're an Israelite, not necessarily because you are doing good, but just because you're an Israelite. All right, and there's just so many things that we need to be aware of. All right, the YAHAWAH for giving us this truth. I just had the sudden urge to say that. And that's the thing, we also need to remember YAHAWAH, which is another thing that he said. Okay, we have to remember to be grateful by thanking YAHAWAH. Okay, we're not doing this. We need to remember to always stay humble and never deny the Lord just because we have things, and even because while it's not. If you are rich, let's say you are rich, okay, that doesn't mean that automatically you're not gonna, be delivered. It just means that's gonna be a lot harder for you, to remain humble. There's not a lot of rich people that are humble. I'd say maybe Keanu Reeves. I think that's the only rich person I've heard of that is humble from what I've seen, but again, that's just kind of hearsay, so sluck.
As long as you're signed to a contract.
So yeah, that signed to a contract, kind of like a covenant, where kind of like a covenant. That's also another thing of like making Esau your God, all right, which we should not be doing. We need to keep away from that to the best of our abilities, and a lot of people do. It's like a lot of people do, see Esau as their God, and by extension, it kind of falls into Christianity in a sense, because for the most part, most people that are Christians, they are kind of or Jakes that are Christians, they kind of do, delusionally, if that's a proper term, I don't know, like foolishly, love Esau too much and give him too much credit when Esau really wants to stab us in the back.
You're going to take a minority share of the win.
Oh yeah, and then that's another thing. So let's say you made $1 million, you only get what, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. You don't get the thing. You only get a small piece of it. All right. Where comparatively, like who's a so rich celebrity that is like, I cannot think of one. That just goes to show how scarcely I watch movies. Anyway.
A select few of us will do. majority will not. So as a people, we'll be...
So yeah, as a people, we will be considered a minority because not a lot of people are going to be properly representing us, okay? And even then, okay, even with the, I guess those are the jakes are in power, quote unquote power, all right? They don't properly represent us. They represent the I guess pseudo white version, whitewash version of Jake, which is at the end of the day not Israel. All right, so like no, they definitely do not represent us, and we are still definitely the minority, and as well as an unheard minority, or better yet, not even just unheard but uncared for minority. And you be with what's it called, the whole Stop Asian Hate thing. They got the not necessarily Chinese, but all the Asian people that look so-called Chinese because of the C9 virus, whatever. Okay, the virus. Fuck, I shouldn't say that. Because of the C9, all right. Everyone that looks so-called Chinese, so that extends to Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese. If they do, I don't know. All right, all the hate that they got, if they lived in America, they got fucking paid reparations from that, which crazy. As I said before, proving my point. Anyway, moving on. Psalm chapter 83, verse. Let's just start from the top. Keep not thou silence, O Yahawah, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahawah. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. As we see with, what Prince said, which honestly, I'm not going to lie, Michael Jackson, he did say a good thing. Sony has, the president of Sony is racist, evil, devil. Cool, glad he could say that. But, Prince just said a lot more, which is more applicable to the thing. But at the same time, I'm still able to bring forth the lesson and drive it harder home. Pause out. Or drive it harder home to show that, this is the reality of things, okay? So yes, they are, thinking about ways how to keep us down, and they have done that. I think I heard, you used to not need to have a license to be a lawyer, and as well as a license for a lot of stuff. It was only to keep so-called black people away from these jobs that you need a license to do this. Oh, now you need a license to do that. All right, it's just crazy. I don't know what to say. Anyway, but yeah, they definitely are going to try to find each and every little reason to, have some sort of counsel, have some sort of snare for us. All right. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness? Okay, again, Slakia, going back to the whole lies and truth things, how can truth, or Slakia, what fellowship does truth have with lies, a righteous person with a wicked person, and so on and so forth? Okay, truth lies, righteous wickedly, light darkness, you know, and by extension, Jacob and Esau, okay? Because Esau just hates our guts, all right? And we're even more hated when we go against the lies that he says. Okay, and we see that, Slakia, and we see this, okay, when, you know, when Prince Michael Kanye says that. There was a comment in the Michael Jackson video that said, actually, let me get, okay, I actually have to close them out, actually. I will, they'll be in the description, they'll be in the description, Slakia. So yeah, Kanye is seen as crazy, all right, but, you know, maybe a lot of things that he's saying is true. Okay, I don't know if he is or not, but, you know, also they were saying that Kanye looks like he got taller, which is weird. Kanye, where is he? Yeah, I don't know what happened. They said he looked like he got taller. Anyway, let's get back on to this. The thing is, that I was talking about is like, okay, so like we can't be saying, another thing is that we can't be saying that, oh, I want to speak my truth. Like, my truth can't exist with, or Slack, let me better put context. Like, say for example, if a woman is saying, oh, I raped her, okay, if I say quote unquote my truth and she says her truth, all right, those two truths can't be truths. They can't coexist because one of them is lying, all right, one of them is lying. So as a result, you know, people can't just follow along, and as well as both of them can't be seen as truths, all right, and they're not opinions either. Okay, those are statements, all right. It's either a fact or it's not a fact, all right. It's either truth or a lie. There's no my truth. It's the truth and the lie, all right. Slocky, I get mad shit like that. I bit my tongue. Ezekiel chapter 35 verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So again, we can't, as I said before, we can't, you know, have fellowship with one another because Esau has a perpetual hatred for us. Okay, Esau is always going to want to, you know, destroy us. All right, and I guess, you know, for those that, I don't know what, well, yeah, you know, spirit, you know, whatever spirit leads me to do, I gotta do it. But yeah, for those that might look like all white people, and you feel like, you know, that's just not you, all right, or you can actually point out and you're able to, I guess, acknowledge the truth of YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, or this truth, the gospel truth, all right, then heck, maybe you are an Israelite, all right, which I believe through the Spirit, definitely, you know, it is something to be looked into for you, not me, because, you know, that's something that we all have to do. We have to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, all right. Okay, that is a thing that I do need to probably have a bit more sensitive care on, because I have heard that, you know, people, or not people, but there are some certain camps that I don't know which one they are, but when they see a so-called white person, they don't necessarily, give them a chance or try the spirit. They just think, okay, they look like an Edomite, they're probably an Edomite. All right, which that's not always the case, and we can't be carnal about things. We need to see things spiritually and actually take the time and like see, okay, you know what, is a spirit connecting with this person, or are they acting like a straight up demon? Okay, and that's this is how we can usually tell. Are they able to get it? All right, there's more to it, but that's not this lesson. Anyway, Jeremiah chapter 16 verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things. So, as of right now, okay, Esau, not necessarily Esau, but the heathens, okay, they are in the mindset that that there is a prophet in the thing, quote unquote prophets, in the things that they believe in. So they don't know it yet, but they have inherited lies. One of the biggest lies is the J-ish people. Okay, I can't say the word, but you know what I mean. The J-ish people, as well as other things, okay, such as alphabetism, which they believe that it is kind of it's like there was a debate about it. Some Christian dude debated with this I don't know, red hair, not necessarily red as in orange, but like red as in literal like red, like odd colored Edomite bitch. All right, basically they were debating and saying shit like, or she was saying shit like it was done all these years ago and stuff like that. Okay, so basically like, oh, that's our culture. That's a culture, not necessarily theirs, but kind of culture. Anyway, the lies of the way, the Babylonian way of thinking, okay, thinking that this is the right way to live, that they are on the right path, they have found their calling, all right, when in actuality, all right, the Lord is using his prophets, okay, to show the people the error, and the people are not liking that, and they hate us for speaking the truth, all right. Finally, Luke chapter 6 verse 20, and he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of Yahweh. Blessed are ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. Blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. Okay, so as we are suffering now, okay, it is expected, it is okay, because eventually there's gonna come a time where we are going to be the ones that are thriving. Okay, truth is going to flip the world right side up, because it is right, as of right now it is upside down. All right, in addition to that, where is it? Let me get this. Luke chapter 6 verse 25, woe unto you, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. So when the time comes where there's no more time for them to repent, and it's time for them to get off that delusioned mindset, that disillusioned false doctrine, all right, falling after the lusts of their hearts, all right, then it's going to be too late, and they're going to be brought to destruction through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI. And with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahawah, BaHashem, YAHAWASHI, BaHashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, DTA, Abad, Babal, and Shalom.